You've heard of Medusa, right? The monster with snakes for hair and a gaze that turns people to stone. But what if I told you that's not the whole story? What if the real monster wasn't Medusa at all? Let's uncover the tragic and often misunderstood tale of one of Greek mythology's most iconic figures. Before she was a monster, Medusa was a mortal woman of breathtaking beauty. She was the only human among three sisters, born to ancient sea deities. Her looks were legendary, drawing admirers from all corners of the world who had traveled just for a chance to see her. Despite all this attention, Medusa was fiercely devoted to Athena, the goddess of wisdom and war. She chose a life of purity, serving as a high priestess in Athena's temple. Her commitment was absolute. People flocked to the temple, not just to worship Athena, but to catch a glimpse of Medusa. Whispers began to circulate. Some even dared to say that Medusa's beauty, especially her glorious hair, rivaled that of the goddess herself. And you can probably guess, Athena didn't like that one bit. This comparison planted a seed of jealousy in the goddess's heart, a resentment that would soon grow into something far more destructive. The stage was set for a tragedy, and Medusa, the devoted priestess, was unknowingly at its center. Things took a dark turn when another powerful god entered the picture: Poseidon, the mighty ruler of the seas. He became obsessed with Medusa's beauty and was determined to have her. Medusa, loyal to her vow of chastity as Athena's priestess, repeatedly refused his advances. She wanted nothing to do with him. But Poseidon wasn't just any suitor. He was a god accustomed to getting what he wanted. He also had a long-standing rivalry with Athena, and he saw possessing her beautiful priestess as the ultimate way to spite her. Tired of being rejected, Poseidon decided to take what he wanted by force. In a moment of absolute terror, Medusa fled to the one place she believed she would be safe: Athena's temple. She prayed for protection, for sanctuary within the sacred walls of the goddess she served so faithfully. But no help came. Poseidon cornered her and assaulted her right there, on the cold floor of the temple. And only after the horrific act was done did Athena finally appear. But her arrival brought no comfort. Athena was enraged, not at Poseidon, but at the defilement of her sacred space. Unwilling or unable to confront the powerful sea god, she redirected her divine fury onto the victim. In a cruel twist of injustice, Athena punished Medusa. She transformed Medusa's famously beautiful hair into a writhing mass of venomous snakes. And worse, she cursed her with a petrifying gaze, decreeing that anyone who looked into her eyes would turn to stone. With this curse, Athena ensured that Medusa would never be seen as a victim again. Instead, the world would only see her as a monster. The story of the Gorgon spread like wildfire, a terrifying beast with a deadly stare, living in isolation. She was no longer Medusa the priestess. She was Medusa the monster, a prize for any glory-seeking warrior brave enough to hunt her. Many tried. Heroes and soldiers flocked to her lair, hoping to be the one to slay the fearsome creature. Every single one of them failed, becoming nothing more than a stone statue in her horrifying garden of victims. Then came Perseus. He wasn't just any warrior. He was a demigod, a son of Zeus, and he came prepared. Aided by divine gifts from the gods, including a mirrored shield from Athena herself, the very goddess who had created the monster in the first place, Perseus undertook his quest. Using the shield's reflection to see Medusa without looking directly at her, he crept up on her while she slept. In one swift motion, he beheaded her. The monster was slain. But even in death, Medusa's story wasn't over. From her severed neck, something incredible happened. The winged horse Pegasus, a creature of pure white, sprang forth, fully grown. Along with him came the giant Chrysaor. These were her children by Poseidon, symbols of life and creativity emerging from unspeakable tragedy. It's a powerful image. Even after being so brutally silenced, her legacy gave birth to something mythic and beautiful. Medusa's head, still possessing its petrifying power, was taken by Perseus and eventually given to Athena. The goddess, in a final act of irony, placed the head on her shield, the Aegis, using the image of the woman she had cursed as a protective emblem to terrorize her enemies. The victim became a weapon. So, let's re-examine this story. Medusa's tale is one of profound injustice. A woman who dedicated her life to a goddess, only to be betrayed and punished for a crime committed against her. Her story is a stark reminder of the flaws of the powerful, how gods, like mortals, can be driven by jealousy, pride, and cruelty. It's a classic case of victim blaming, where the narrative is twisted to make the survivor into the villain. Today, many people are looking at Medusa's story through a new lens. They see her not as a simple monster, but as a symbol of survival and resilience against unimaginable trauma. Her image, once a sign of terror, is now often used as a protective talisman, an emblem of female rage and power meant to ward off evil. She represents the righteous anger of those who have been wronged. Her legacy forces us to ask a difficult question. Who is the real monster? Is it the creature with snakes for hair, forced to live in isolation and kill to defend herself? Or is it the powerful god who assaulted her and the jealous goddess who punished her for it? Medusa's story endures because it speaks to a timeless truth. Sometimes the true horror isn't in the monster we see, but in the society and the forces that created it. It's a powerful, tragic, and deeply human story hidden behind a monstrous mask. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into mythology. Let me know in the comments what you think. Is Medusa a monster or a victim? I'd love to hear your thoughts. See you in the next video.